Hey there, creepy peeps, and welcome to another movie review. Today we're going to be talking about the film Wolf Creek. My voice already, I can hear it. Okay. Wolf Creek is directed by Greg McLean, who also directed The Darkness, which I still haven't seen yet. I've been so busy, I can't even watch The Darkness. I haven't even seen The Darkness. I haven't seen The Conjuring 2 yet. Which I'm hearing The Conjuring 2 is really good. Like, I'm hearing it's really good. So Wolf Creek is about two British tourists traveling in Australia with Australian native Ben. He's taking our two tourists, Christy and Liz, across the country or something. I can't remember. They're going somewhere, but they make a stop at the site of this crater where like an asteroid or something hit. It's called Wolf Creek, and their car breaks down, or their car won't start after they visit the crater and once they try to leave, and they get the help of a native, Mick, who so conveniently happens to stop by and see their car broken down there. And then of course they realize that Mick is not the helpful native that they thought he was, and he turns out to be a psycho. And yeah, that's Wolf Creek basically. So the director, Greg McLean, is part of what I found out is called the Splat Pack. Was it Splat Pack or Splatter Pack? I think it was Splat Pack, which is a bunch of directors that were making horror films, like kind of like in the early 2000s type, early mid 2000s, and they're making horror films that are especially violent, extremely gory, that sort of thing. Like they're kind of the big names in torture porn. So also in this Splat Pack, also in the Splat Pack, to kind of give you an example, would be Alexander Aja, however you say his last name, Rob Zombie, Eli Roth. Those are just the ones that are coming to my head in the moment, but just to give you an idea, those guys. So he's part of that. Which, after seeing Wolf Creek, I can kind of understand why he got thrown into that bag, because this movie is very violent, pretty gory. There's not a whole lot of gore, actually. It's just very violent. I mean, that's cool though. I could understand how this movie could be a little bit difficult to watch for some. If you don't like that torture porn type stuff, this stuff is really gritty. It gets really, really dark, particularly during one sequence, because we kind of focus like from Liz's point of view for a while, and after they've been knocked out by Mick and she wakes up tied up in a room after she escapes, she finds Mick with Christy in this kind of like warehouse shed type area, and he's got her like tied up, and you can see he's bloodied her up a little bit already. And he's like taunting her violently, and you can tell he's about to rape her, that sort of thing. Like, and this scene goes on for quite a while Liz is watching and kind of deciding how best to save her friend. But it gives the film like a really dark tone. Like, obviously we start off kind of lighthearted, of course, like as these movies always do, with like our main group of tourists having fun and going on a road trip and blah 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 blah, but then it takes a really, really dark turn. So that part was a little bit it was a little bit difficult to watch, but I mean, it wasn't too bad. I'm okay with this sort of thing. So, and this movie does have a kind of like a little underlying tone of kind of like an anti-tourist kind of feel to it, with Mick being a native, and he kind of focuses on tourists, as Liz discovers, since he keeps like kind of like mementos from his other kills and whatever. They mostly seem to be tourists, even though Ben doesn't kind of fit into that mold. But if you think about it, he does make it out at the end of the movie. So I mean, interesting that the only ones that end up dead are the British tourists, and Ben somehow makes it out. Obviously Mick would have killed him had he caught him, but he just ends up to kind of make it out, which is an interesting point. And apparently this is called palm bashing, I guess in Australia. A term, I don't know if it's like the term, but a term for a British tourist would be a palm or palmy. I was like trying to read the definition, and the word pompous kept coming up, which is where I think they got this from. I don't know where they got the word palm from, but I think it's coming from pompous. And it's meant to describe kind of like an uppity, very proper, pompous British tourist, I guess, which is called palm bashing. So you learn something new every day. I mean, I like Mick. He's a psycho, but he's almost a charismatic psycho. I don't know. I read that the actor John Jarrett, he's a method actor, and he spent like months in the outback to prepare for this role, and he like stayed in character, like behind the scenes and stuff like that. It made for a very convincing psycho. I wouldn't put him like on the level of like Freddy charismatic, but he still had kind of that thing about him, like before he goes full on psycho, like when he's still playing the part of like helpful tourist, where you can tell he's off. Like you can, like, it's obvious to us that something bad's gonna happen, but you're still kind of like laughing with him, and I don't know, he has a sort of charisma about him. So I liked his character. The ending left a little something to be desired though, if I'm honest. Like I said, Ben makes it out alive, and there's like this whole thing where he tried to, like, he like went to court and tried to like have Mick found, and they couldn't find him and things like that. And it was like, it ends kind of like ambiguously, like people didn't believe Ben and things like that. I don't know. It was all really strange, and it left something to be desired. I didn't like the ending. I don't know what I would have wanted to happen, but not that. I think they could have just like kind of left off the bit about Ben and like the police trying to find Mick and not being able to find him. Like, I think they made it clear enough that he got away, and they made it open-ended enough for the sequel that did eventually follow. I don't think they needed all that at the end. It was too much, and I didn't like it. But other than that little like bit at the end, it was all right. I'll probably get this movie. I'll probably buy this movie, probably watch it again, maybe check out the sequel, only because the same actor is playing Mick would be the only reason why I watched the sequel. So yeah, if you've seen Wolf Creek, let me know in the comment section down below what you thought about it. And if you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up. Feel free to subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more of my face and hear more of my voice. And thank you if you are subscribed already. And until next time, stay strange.